Ooh, Selesnya Stompy. Say more. Bright Glass Gearhulk nonsense? I'm here for it.
Yeah, I love this deck. This is one of the ones that every time I jump into Standard, it's like one of the first things I try because I like, Llanowar Elves. I like the green-white sort of swarm token type strategies. They're really fun to me. Getting some complicated combat steps.
Yep.
But this one is not the traditional like Llanowar Elves, good cards type of Selesnya deck that we've seen in the past. It actually seems to be his own take with a small artifact theme, Herd Heirloom, Teething Wormlet.
That's a great card.
Yeah, cool stuff. I mean, Herd Heirloom is really nice in a deck that happens to be mostly creatures, and then also you get to use it as a little bit of a late game card advantage to keep the card advantage flowing. Target your Bright Glass Gearhulk, maybe your Regal Bunnicorn if you can get that one big enough.
I'll never not laugh at Regal Bunnicorn. That is just such a funny card.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, and Bright Glass Gearhulk being, the card that kind of holds everything together, because just look at the mass of 1-drops/0 drops in Market Backwalker that you can go and fetch with this card. It's so cool.
And importantly, it's not just, hey, I'm going to go get 2 cards. It's, I'm going to get the perfect card for the given situation. You have something I need to answer. Boom, Dusk Rose Reliquary. Am I totally flooded? I have 100 lands on the battlefield. Market Backwalker. So there's no shortage of great things you can do once the Bright Glass Gearhulks start coming down.
Scrap Shooter and the Warden of the Inner Sky have hit the board so far, as well as the Herd Heirloom on the other side of things. Is it doing things? It's 2 Storm Chaser's talents, so we have 2 Otters, and awaiting some spells here from Taylor Spain's side of things.
Is it, though?
It is. Is it? We'll never not make puns about it, okay? Wizards just put it there for us. Scrap Shooter. Just a 3-mana 4/4.
It's another card that I really like. Again, Bloomburrow, this is a set that has all this like sort of untapped potential with all the various creature types and cool gift cards. And Scrap Shooter is one that I saw this printed. I was like, wow, that's sweet. 3-mana 4/4 reach right up front.
Yeah.
And you have this extra ability. So I love to see Dane making good use of it. Just, I mean, kind of just face value, right? As a good
it's just a good
green creature.
Yeah.
I guess the hidden below face value is the synergy with Herd Heirloom, where exactly a 3-mana 4/4 you can actually attack with that and start drawing some cards, giving it trample.
Yeah. You'd think Herd Heirloom would only be found in the Gruul decks, for example, but the Scrap Shooter is doing a good job of fulfilling that role of being 4 power. As the turn gets passed back now, we have 2 Otters. One with Monstrous Rage on it. Well, excuse me, the monster roll. What do we do from here?
So, Dane passing the turn with no play, that really can't bode well. I mean, this for as cool and sweet as the Selesnya deck is, it is kind of one-dimensional. Like, you're kind of just playing creatures at sorcery speed. That's the one thing that your deck does. So the fact that he passes with all this mana open, I don't think there's going to be some kind of powerful instant or card to restock. I think it just means he didn't draw really well, hasn't found a Bright Glass Gearhulk.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, because you really, really want to find that card. That is the glue that makes the deck work. I mean, he's sitting at 3-0, so he's had a great run thus far at the regional championships. But alas, the big robot hasn't shown up just yet. How about now? Nope. Phooey. That's going to be enough for game 1 here. Taylor Spain picking up the first game. Dane will hopefully be able to put a better showing on for game number 2 here to keep his undefeated hopes alive. So what did you say you would play this weekend? You would probably play Domain?
Yeah, that was my answer based on like familiarity.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who are believers in the Is It deck, so it's possible I would have been convinced or bullied into playing it. But I enjoy the Domain deck, and we did see Matt Nass, in round 1, playing his Pro Tour winning Domain deck, so that it can't be that bad of an idea if a player like Matt is still ready to bring that to battle.
Take a look at the sideboards here quickly for anyone wanting to see what's up with the Selesnya side of things. Invasion of Gobokhan, I really like that one. Gives all my things indestructible when it flips.
Yeah, that one's really, really cool. Authority of the Console seems to be just anyone with white mana has been turning to that against Is It Prowess, so I expect that to come in. You could even grab it with the Bright Glass Gear Hulk if that's what the situation calls for. Other than that, I would guess that Dane's deck is pretty, like the main deck is pretty well suited to the Is It matchup already. And then Taylor is going to have to, work on the fly. Again, everyone's practiced 100 games against Is It.
Yeah.
You might not have had time to play against the, Selesnya deck that's going to be 1% or less of the field. So Taylor's probably thinking on the fly, like, okay, how do I want to balance my Abrades versus my Disdainful Strokes versus my aggressive cards. So it's not super obvious how he's going to sideboard, but I would be certainly looking towards like anything that can kill a creature or remove something from the battlefield. Lithomantic Barrage has some nice targets, so we'll see.
Unable to Scream is an interesting one. What is that doing in here? Gotta go remind myself what that card does.
Yeah, that's a nice one to
aura,
neutralize a bigger creature. Exactly, yeah. So where your red burn spells might fail against the larger big creature, the larger big green creatures, unable to Scream can still do the trick.
Ah, yes. With the creepy dull art, that's the one. Duskmourn was a unsettling set. They did a good job in that regard.
They certainly achieved the goals of making that unsettling. The scary dolls.
Are you afraid of any typical thing like clowns or stuff like that?
Yeah, clowns and dolls. I don't know, as much as the next guy.
Friends, if you want to pick up some great cards, this weekend is the perfect time to do so. There's a flash sale ongoing that ends Monday. So go to starcitygames.com to go and pick up your singles, see if there's anything that tickles your fancy, and go play some Magic, because Magic is cool. A couple of the games I played yesterday, I ran into a lot of Haywire Mites.
Yeah, that's a really great one.
Yeah.
Especially with Bright Glass Gear Hulk giving you an excuse to grab it. I see that Dane has 1+1, one main deck, one sideboard.
Yeah. And a great answer for one of the peskiest cards in the format right now, Corey Steelcutter. Teething Wormlet. I thought it was a dinosaur at first, but it's just a goofy worm.
I would have thought it was a dinosaur as well,
yeah.
Especially based on the art.
Yep.
So Regal Bunnicorn,
Nice.
Not particularly scary yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if that thing becomes a 4/4 or a 5/5 in pretty short order.
Yeah. Oh.
Or not.
No, not. It's just going to get dead. It's that Burst Lightning taking care of the Bunnicorn before it gets out of hand. Teething Wormlet. It's going to try and do its best job, or its best here, to get Taylor dead. Tall ask for a 1/1, though, until we get some artifacts hitting the board. Haywire Might hits the board. So we have an answer for a Corey Steelcutter, should it appear. All right, Sheltered by Ghosts. Gonna nab that Monastery Swiftspear and gain some life here with the Wormlet. So pretty cool turn there for Dane.
I really like the way Dane is navigating this, where Sheltered by Ghost, it's less about this being like a Doom Blade, right? It's not meant as a permanent, forever answer against an opposing threat. It's more of like, hey, I'm going to just play this, hammer my advantage, get this massive life total swing. If you want to answer my Teething Wormlet, good luck. You got to spend your whole turn paying the ward cost.
Yeah.
And that's just enough for me, like whatever, an 8-point life swing plus a temporary reprieve on the battlefield. It's just good enough.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, even if you do get the Monastery Sister back after that, the damage is done. Gained the life, did the damage, and now you have a 1-drop. Scrap Shooter hits the board once again. Making an appearance, 1 mana left open if needs be here for Dane Mayzik. Teething Wormlet, getting in. Go, buddy, go. Block, Monstrous Rage in response. Yep, they'll be able to kill that friend. It's never a great sign if you're using Monstrous Rage on defense, but hey, at least it's there.
Well, it is a nice way to circumvent the ward cost, because if Taylor was like, okay, I'm going to play into the Flood Maw, take my whole turn to pay the ward too, that's a tough way to do it, but just getting this, trade in combat doesn't feel too bad.
Not in this situation, not at all. So one problem dealt with. Still a pretty formidable force here for Dane, the 4/4.
So, yeah, Dane is doing pretty well on the battlefield. And this game is going to come down to is what is his play next turn. So if he gets to play Bright Glass Gearhulk and restock his hand and just guarantee some nice plays for follow-up turns, I like his position. If it's like game 1 where he has to go, okay, your turn, I'm doing nothing while you're sculpting your hand, stocking up, leveling up your talent, it's not going to bode well. This is sort of an intermediate play where, Novice Inspector, you do get to spend your mana and continue drawing cards, but it's at the expense of not really hammering your board presence. But here's that really nice Herd Heirloom Sharpshooter, Scrapshooter combo. Love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was a great turn again from Dane. Like, he's had 2 banger turns in a row.
Yeah, really looking for that key card, Bright Glass Gearhulk. If he plays that, he's going to be sort of all set for the remainder of the game. But if the top of his library doesn't deliver, it could be a little bit of a different story.
Okay, Torch the Tower, nice. Finds the opportunity to kill the Haywire Might before it can kill the Quarry Steelcutter, so that's a great turn of events here for Taylor Spain.
And exiled, so no life gain.
Nice. Chump block there from the Novice Inspector. Monastery Suspirit got in, leaving the Monk behind. All right, things looking okay for Taylor. Stabilizing, perhaps. Sentinel of the Nameless City hits the board. It's gonna make a map token. Yeah, let's explore. Yeah, let's get that land. Would have preferred a counter there, probably, but you don't hate hitting your land drops.
Dane plays a plane against Spain.
Good job.
So here we have 4/4 trample being met by 3/3 token plus Torch the Tower. So it looks like did the Herd Heirloom get to draw a card there?
Doesn't look like it did, because it was activated for that. It wasn't spent for mana, was it? I wasn't keeping track of spend, but if he missed it, whoops. Otherwise, it was used to spend for a creature. But here's the Gearhulk. He showed up. You're late for work, man.
Yeah, could be just in time though, or I mean, better late than never, perhaps, is the expression I'm looking for. As the game is still very close and competitive, and this restock, and we talked about how he gets to get the right card or configuration of cards for the situation.
Yeah.
Looks like he's picking the Teething Wormlet, which is just a nice, efficient play that can kind of grow larger, plus the Dusk Rose Reliquary.
I think it's going to get a little dead here, unfortunately. Oh, no. There's a Novice Inspector. Yeah, eat that instead. I thought the Wormlet was just going to be a sacrificial fodder for the Duskrow's Reliquary, but it's not. Just sacking the Clue, taking care of the Quarry Steelcutter, and rebuilding that battlefield. Nice.
It makes me wonder, Dane has access to 2 Haywire Mites.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super obvious to me how strong of a card it is in this matchup. So I wonder if he had the second one available as a target that he could have searched for there, or if that one is still warming the bench in the sideboard. Just, thinking ahead about, like, okay, like what cards am I going to want access to with my Gearhulk? What might I want a second copy of?
Yeah.
These are such interesting questions that it would take, I think, a lot of, a wide range of experience with the Selesnya deck before I'd really have the answers to those things.
Life totals 21-9. Dane in the lead in that regard, and also in the lead on board.
I do really like this deck, though. I think the Herd Heirlooms could be a meaningful innovation here. I never would have thought to build this deck without Llanowar Elves, but I like what Dane has come up with here. It's pretty sweet. I'd like to give this one a try myself.
Yeah. I understand why Llanowar Elves is like everyone's favorite one-drop, but if you draw it on turn 5, you're so sad to see it.
Totally.
That's been my experience playing with it, but because there's just so much better things to do, in Magic as it stands than when was Llanowar Elves printed first? Many, many moons ago.
The beginning.
The beginning. There you go.
Yeah.
30 moons ago. Oh boy, what do we got going on here? Plenty of Monastery Swiftspear and Monk Prowess triggers. So Dane taking some damage, down to 15 he goes. And we are gonna send Kellen on an adventure.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Journey on, my friend. He's gonna make map tokens where X is 1 plus the number of opponents who control an artifact. So 2 map tokens?
2 map tokens. Yep, perfect.
Cool.
I think Dane's mission right now is to maybe try to create a 4-power creature so that he can turn his heirloom back on.
Yeah.
He did not cast the Kellen from Adventure.
So what does that tell you he has? What instant speed nonsense do you have? Is there a Llama Land? I don't think so. Curious and curious. No, it doesn't work. Alright, turn passes back now to Dane. As we see Kellen, Daring Traveler, hit the board now. And just gonna get the damage in while he can into the Floodmaw. Oh, nice. Is going to bounce the Reliquary a Fish is given. That has Ward too, doesn't it?
Yes. So Dane,
yeah.
Dane triggers the ward. Taylor pays for it.
And a Fish is given. So things looking dicey here for Taylor. It's at 4 life now. And Duskrow's Reliquary number 2 comes back to take away the Quarry Steelcutter that is equipped. It's getting a little stressful here for the Izzet player, not gonna lie.
All right, the turn that Izzet has to pump the brakes and play defense can often be a turning point in the game. No stock up there, which is the card Taylor really was hoping to have.
Dane is Hellbent, barring that card in hand. Yeah. Oh boy, Sheltered by Ghosts on Kellen. Gonna grab the monk out the way, so that will never come back. And this is gonna hurt.
So a huge sort of gambit here playing Sheltered by Ghosts into open mana, attacking into the prowess creature. I think Dane is he's just saying, hey, I don't think you have anything, and I'm going to attack,
Yeah.
Based on that read on the situation.
Sometimes you just go for it. Make them have it. Sentinel of the Nameless City. Hey, another Gearhulk on top. Woohoo! Okay.
So the Teething Wormlet, I think that was a 3-2 fighting a 2-3. But looks like the game's over regardless.
All right. Dane puts on a good show as requested, so thank you very much, Bright Glass Gearhulk, for showing up. Friends, if you would like to join us at a future event, then come join us for SCGCon Indianapolis. It is happening on May 30th to June 1st, and it is going to be Magic Spotlight Secret Lair with a unique first place prize, of consulting on a future Secret Lair product. That is sweet.
Yeah, no kidding. That is an amazing, once in a lifetime kind of prize.
Man, what would your Secret Lair be? What would Secret Lair Reed Duke include?
Boy, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Jund stuff.
Yeah. Right? Secret Lair, all my old favorite Jund cards.
That would be cool.
But yeah, that's an opportunity that there have been a handful of tournaments in Magic's 30-year history where you get to help design cards, namely the World Championships, the old Invitationals. So having that opportunity from Secret Lair, Spotlight Secret Lair is very cool and special.
That's going to be awesome. So starcitygames.com/SCGCon. Go get more details, and hopefully we'll see you all there. And hey, maybe you'll get your name in the credits for Secret Lair. I don't know how they keep track of people who worked on it, but you know what I mean. Taylor Spain, Dane, Mayzik, 3-0 apiece. This is game 3. We kick things off with a Storm Chaser's Talent. Here comes an Otter, and there comes Authority of Consuls. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, just what Dane wants, given that he's on the draw and may have to play from behind in this game, but just slowing things down, making sure he doesn't lose before he's able to play out his hand.
Yeah. Gain a life, lose a life from the Otter attacking. Oh boy. Great find there for Dane to kick things off. What does turn 2 hold for him? You got any more of them wormlets? Hopefully land 2. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's a Teething Wormlet and a Haywire Mite. So nice little sequence there for turn 2 for Dane.
I've quite enjoyed this match so far because both games were right up till the end. It was competitive. People were making relevant plays. And then I would say both games kind of resulted in one player or the other petering out and the top of their library, failing to deliver. But that's not going to happen every game. These decks contain stock up, Bright Glass Gearhulk, map tokens, cantrips. So it's, I think there's a wide range of how things can play out. And even this game, we're seeing a much different dynamic with Dane taking a perhaps defensive approach with Authority of the Consuls.
Oh, nice. Finds a Sheltered by Ghosts, but both creatures were dealt with there by Taylor, so great use of the removal spells to keep things off the board and keep his creatures safe. Now, how much damage can he do with 2 little guys? None. Well, no more than the 2. But we will level up the Storm Chaser's Talent and get back a spell from the yard.
Would you like to hear an interesting fact about Dane's deck?
Would, yes.
It has no cards that are not permanents.
Ah.
So there's three copies of Pick Your Poison in the sideboard as sorceries. That's it. Other 72 cards are all permanents.
That's so cool.
So there's no instant speed. There's no get lost or
good honest magic.
Yeah, and Parting Gust. Sometimes you see in these Selesnya decks, but yeah, this is just good honest magic. Everything's right there on the battlefield.
No trixies from this Hobbitses. So again, great to see that you can play something like that. You don't need to be playing on your opponent's turn and countering everything and combat tricks up the wazoo. So again, a great testament to what Standard is like at the moment.
So So let's see if this 4/4 first strike can actually hold the ground against the prowess creatures.
I believe.
Opt to the top.
All right.
Sleight of hand. So we're up to 3/3 and 3/4.
Thank you. Appreciate it when players keep track of their triggers for us. Oh,
there
nice!
it is! Unable to scream. So it still gets to chump block, which is not nothing, but the trample now making it very close to nothing. So look at this. You start the turn with 4 lands and 2 prowess creatures. Every single land plays a 1-mana spell, resulting in the maximum possible amount of damage. You're trampling over your opponent. I mean, you barely even needed Unable to Scream. You could have just trampled over the 4/4 first strike if you wanted.
I mean, what? He's got effectively 12 life with a 2 toughness on the board?
Okay, so they start as 1/1s, 4 triggers each, so that's 10, plus the Monstrous Rage an additional 3. That is it. Holy smokes.
Oh, man.